Have you heard of Mavulis Island? Most haven't, but that's about to change. Once dismissed as a remote, windswept outpost at the northern edge of the Philippines, Mavulis is now emerging as one of the most consequential islands in the Indo-Pacific. Just 140 kilometers from Taiwan and perched beside the Bashi Channel, a maritime choke point vital to global trade and regional security, this once silent sentinel is being transformed into a fortified gateway for commerce, defense, and development. As global eyes turn to Taiwan and the Pacific heats with tension, Mavulis is no longer a footnote on the map. It is a front line. In this video, we uncover how this isolated island, becoming a national lifeline, a logistics hub, a symbol of sovereignty, and a rising beacon of opportunity. The question is no longer, where is Mavulis? It's, can the Philippines unlock its full power before someone else does?
God bless the Philippines. Dito tayo ngayon sa Mavulis Island, northernmost island of the Philippine territory.
Nestled at the northernmost edge of the Philippine archipelago, Mavulis Island, also known as Yami, is a place few have seen, but many will soon hear about. Located in the Batanes group of islands, just a stone's throw from Taiwan, it's a rugged, untouched paradise where time seems to stand still. With its crystal clear waters, dramatic limestone cliffs, and dense tropical greenery, Mavulis boasts some of the country's most pristine natural beauty. Its surrounding marine environment is teeming with biodiversity, from vibrant coral reefs to migratory birds and rare fish species. But beyond its ecological richness, Mavulis holds quiet, historical, and cultural significance. It stands as a sentinel of Philippine sovereignty and a living link to the Ivatan heritage, echoing stories of resilience, tradition, and connection to the sea. Once an isolated frontier known only to fishermen and defense patrols, Mavulis Island is now at the heart of one of the Philippines' most ambitious connectivity projects. In 2025, the government, through the Department of Transportation and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, accelerated the construction of a multi-purpose port that can now accommodate both naval vessels and civilian supply ships. As of second quarter of 2025, Phase 1 of the Mavulis Port project is 85% complete, with cargo docks, refueling stations, and a fishery landing site already operational. Plans for a 1.2-kilometer airstrip, set to be completed by mid-2026, are also underway, paving the way for small aircraft and emergency response flights. We used to rely on weekly boat runs from Batanes, weather permitting, says Petty Officer Elmer Lazaro, stationed on the island since 2022. Now, we're seeing ships every other day. Supplies, personnel, even visitors. Mavulis' location is more than symbolic. It sits barely 140 kilometers from Taiwan, making it one of the closest Philippine territories to key international trade routes. According to the 2025 National Logistics Master Plan, Mavulis is now being positioned as a strategic node for northern maritime corridors, expected to reduce shipping times between Luzon and East Asia by up to 22%. This gives it not only commercial value, but also defense significance. We're not just building a transport hub, says Angus Umbroy, Myra Feliciano of the Department of Transportation's Island Infrastructure Team. We're anchoring our presence, its infrastructure with intent, with expanded sea lanes, improved radar and communication systems, and a growing supply chain route through the Balintang Channel. Mavulis is set to become a dual-purpose outpost, serving both national security and regional commerce. The island's transformation is also expected to stimulate economic activity in nearby provinces like Batanes and Cagayan, especially in fisheries, tourism, and logistics. Before, we looked south for trade, adds a local official from Basco. But now, we're looking outward, northward. Mavulis is opening that path. In just a few short years, what was once a distant outpost has become a vital link between islands and nations. Mavulis is no longer just a border, it is a bridge to opportunity, security, and sustainable national growth. The transformation of Mavulis Island is quickly reshaping the socio-economic landscape of the country's northern frontier. And in 2025, those changes are becoming tangible. According to the Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, the ongoing infrastructure boom has already generated over 850 direct jobs in construction, port logistics, and renewable energy systems, with an additional 1,500 plus positions projected to open by the end of the year in key growth sectors, including ecotourism, fisheries, digital services, and coastal transport. Before, we had to travel to Luzon just to find steady work, says Anna Sablada, a 28-year-old Ivatan resident. Now, there are training programs and jobs coming right here. We finally feel included. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, BFAR, has begun installing 3 community-run marine harvest stations on the island, focusing on seaweed, tuna, and sustainable shellfish farming. Projects expected to boost local fisherfolk incomes by up to 40% by 2026. Meanwhile, the Department of Tourism, DOT, has partnered with local cooperatives to launch the Ivatan Cultural Corridor Initiative, which includes the development of eco-lodges, heritage tours, and dive-friendly marine sanctuaries. Visitor projections show Mavulis could welcome up to 20,000 domestic and regional tourists annually by 2026, creating not just jobs, but a renewed sense of identity and pride. This isn't just about building ports, says Lisa Corcuera, a senior advisor with the National Economic and Development Authority, NEDA. It's about building livelihoods. If we do this right, Mavulis can be a model of inclusive, sustainable growth for all island communities in the Philippines. To fuel this momentum, the government launched the Northern Gateway Incentive Program, NGIP, offering 5-year tax holidays, import duty exemptions, and priority processing for investors in green tech, aquaculture, and digital marine logistics. The program has already secured 600 million pesos in committed investments from both domestic startups and foreign firms in South Korea and Japan. Meanwhile, local entrepreneurs are receiving micro-grant support and cooperative incubation under the Islang Katawang Enterprise Program, enabling homegrown enterprises to scale their operations. The big picture here isn't just economic, it's transformational, says DTI Regional Director Emilio Vargas. Mavulis is becoming a frontier of innovation, resilience, and opportunity. We're not just building an island economy, we're building a national showcase. What was once a remote outpost is now rapidly emerging as a vibrant hub of productivity and possibility, proof that with vision, investment, and community at the center, even the most distant corners of the archipelago can lead the way toward a more prosperous Philippines. At the core of the Mavulis Island transformation is a guiding principle that progress must uplift not just economies, but people and the planet. In 2025, the Philippine government, through an interagency initiative led by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, DNR, in coordination with the Department of Science and Technology, DOST, and the Philippine Navy, officially designated 62% of Mavulis Island as a protected ecological zone, safeguarding native flora, migratory birds, and marine biodiversity from unchecked development. This includes buffer zones around critical coral reefs and the endemic rich forested ridges in the island's interior. All new infrastructure, ports, barracks, community buildings must comply with the Green Island Development Standards, a policy enacted under the 2025 Blue and Green Archipelago Framework. This ensures the integration of solar microgrids, bioclimatic architecture, rainwater harvesting, and zero waste management systems across the island. We're proving that sustainability isn't a luxury, it's the blueprint, says engineer Rosalind Tadina, DENR's lead environmental planner for Northern Luzon. Social development, too, is progressing rapidly. The Department of Education has broken ground on the Mavulis Integrated Learning Center, a modular, typhoon-resilient facility built with elevated floors, natural cooling, and digital classrooms. It will accommodate up to 250 students from Mavulis and nearby islets through boat-assisted student access and will feature bilingual instruction in Ivatan and Filipino. For the first time, our children won't need to leave the island to go to school. says Marina Agamada, a mother of 3 from Itbayat. That changes everything, not just for education, but for families staying together. The Department of Health has also commissioned the Mavulis Island Rural Health Unit, which is 100% solar-powered and equipped with telemedicine capability, midwifery services, and cold storage for vaccines. Community midwife Lourdes Reyes adds, "We've already seen a drop in emergency evacuations to Batanes. We can now handle prenatal care and minor injuries right here. In terms of livelihood, climate-resilient housing with elevated designs and storm-rated roofing is being built for both station personnel and local families. The Cooperative Development Authority has launched the Mavulis Livelihood and Eco-Cop program, giving residents collective ownership over ventures like reef-safe tourism tours, handcrafted Ivatan goods, and sustainable seaweed farming. With 14 coops formally registered as of June 2025. Lieutenant Column Ramon Villanueva of the Northern Command puts it plainly. This isn't just development for outsiders. It's development with the locals, hand in hand. They protect this island. They deserve to benefit from it. As Mavulis grows, it is quietly setting a new national standard, a place where modern infrastructure meets deep respect for tradition and ecology. With thoughtful planning and inclusive policies, the island is becoming not just a model of what development can be, but what it should be, balanced, rooted, and shared by all. The development of Mavulis Island is redefining what was once the country's most remote frontier into a beacon of progress, resilience, and national pride. From job creation and improved access to healthcare and education, to the rise of sustainable industries and strategic connectivity, the island is already bringing meaningful change to local communities and strengthening the Philippines' presence in the region. By 2030, Mavulis is projected to become a fully functional maritime and logistics hub, welcoming tourists, facilitating trade, and serving as a symbol of unity at the nation's edge. What was once the last island is fast becoming the first frontier. This is more than a local success story. It is a vision of what's possible when strategic planning, community empowerment, and environmental stewardship come together. As Mavulis rises, so too does the promise of a stronger, more inclusive future for the entire Philippines. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.